Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Aisyah Putri sitorus. I'm here. I will explain the material about devices of poetry. 12. Devices of poetry. What is the meaning of poetry devices? Poetic devices are a literary device used in poetry. Poems are created out of poetic devices composed of structural, grammatical, rhythmic, metrical, verbal, and visual elements. They are essential tools that a poet uses to create rhythm, enhance a poem's meaning, or intensify a mood or feeling. Number 1. Anaphora. Anaphora describes a poem that repeats the same phrase at the beginning of each line. Sometimes the anaphora is a central element of the poem's construction. Other times poets only use anaphora in one or two stanzas, not the whole piece. Number 2. Conceit. A conceit is essentially an extended metaphor, which when you think about it, it's kind of stuck up to have a fancy word for an extended metaphor. So a conceit is pretty conceit, don't you think? Number 3. Apostrophe. Don't confuse this with the punctuation mark for plural nouns. The literary device apostrophe is different. Apostrophe describes any instance when the speaker talks to a person or object that is absent from the poem. Poets employ apostrophe when they speak to the dead or to a long lost of. But they also use apostrophe when writing an ode to a Grecian urn or an ode to the woman in Long Island. Number 4. Metonymy and synecdoche. Metonymy and synecdoche are very similar poetic devices, so we'll include them as one item. A metonymy is when the writer replaces a part for a part, causing one noun to describe a different noun. For example, in the phrase, the pen is mightier than the sword. The pen is a metonymy for writing and the sword is a metonymy for fighting. Number 5. Engagement and stop lines. Poets have something at their disposal which prose writers don't. The mighty line break. Line breaks and stanza breaks help guide the reader through the poem. And while this might not be hardline literary devices in poetry, they are important to understanding the strategies of poetry writing. Number 6. Zeugma. Zeugma is a fun little device you don't see often in contemporary poetry. It was much more common in ancient Greek and Latin poetry, such as the poetry of Ovid. This might not be an essential device, but if you use it on your own poetry, you will stand out for your mastery of language and unique stylistic choices. Number 7. Repetition. Last but not least, among the top literary devices in poetry, repetition is key. We have already seen repetition in some of the aforementioned poetic devices, like anaphora and conceit. Still, repetition deserves its own special mention. Number 8. Internal and rhyme. When you think about poetry, the first thing you probably think of is rhyme. Yes, many poems rhyme, especially poetry in antiquity. However, contemporary poetry largely looks down upon poetry with strict rhyme schemes, and you are far more likely to see internal rhyming than end rhyming. Number 9. Alliteration. One of the more defining sound devices in poetry. Alliteration refers to the sections of words with similar sounds. For example, this sentence so assiduously steeped in S sounds was coped alliteratively. Number 10. Consonant and assonance. Along with alliteration, consonants and assonance share the little for most important sound devices in poetry. Alliteration refers specifically to the sounds at the beginning. Consonant and assonance refer to the sounds within words. Technically, alliteration is a form of consonant or assonance, and both can coexist powerfully on the same line. Number 11. Euphony and cacophony. Poems that master musicality will sound either euphonious or cacophonous. Euphony, from the Greek for pleasant sounding, refers to word or sentence which flow pleasantly and sound sweetly. Look toward any of the poems we have mentioned or the example we have given, and euphony sings to you like the muses. Number 12. Matter. What's something you still remember from high school English? Personally, I will always remember that Shakespeare wrote in iambic pentameter. I will also remember that iambic pentameter resembles a heartbeat. And the last, thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.